Take it.
We're not going to take it anymore.
We're not going to take it anymore. That was the most random playlist today. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, that wasn't your normal style.
No, I definitely mixed it. Well, I had to stop one because it ended up turning into I forgot it was explicit. And although it is what it is,
Give up.
let that happen. So yeah, it's good times.
Well, I'm kind of excited about today.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
We have just so many things to take advantage of. And, we pay attention a lot to our new hires, and we have this onboarding program, and it really is overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
So for the existing agents, we still hit you with a lot of stuff. And I think a lot of you have intentions to do it. And then another thing comes around.
Yep.
We have intentions to do that, and then another thing comes around. So I was talking to Jimmy yesterday. I said, why don't we do a summary of all the things that we have, and then we'll follow up, because you've done an excellent job of recording and making all these things really simple to do. And so I thought that's what we do. And of course, you built a presentation around it.
Of course.
Of course. So that's it. So we're not telling you that you have to do all these things.
Right.
But if you do some of these things, your business will be more professional and more easy to run. And you'll be able to generate more business on your own rather than relying on referral sources, right?
100%.
Because your website is a huge tool. Your CRM is a huge tool.
Yep.
And I know a lot of us are not using them. There's squirrel syndrome, are not using them the way they are intended to be used, right?
Yep.
And unfortunately, I was thinking about this morning. I just talked to you about it yet, but unfortunately, some of the stuff does take some work to set up, like getting your database prepared. It has to be put in a certain format, and you have to have an email address, and you have to have a phone number for it to be effective. And that just throws everybody a curveball. So, oh shit, I got to call everybody, get their email address. Oh, I got to email everybody, get their phone number. But those are the things that make your database successful. And then once you have that done, it's done forever. And we have a lot of that ready for you in your consumer mailing list through Dash, so you can talk to your manager, we can pull it for you. But anyway, that's enough of my intro talking. You want to share your screen? Or want me to share mine?
I'll share mine in a second. And so kind of like what, like Craig talked, and if you look at what the email was sent out last night, it's kind of preparing for Q4 in the beginning of 2025 and making sure that you're good to go. Now there is obviously there's a lot of different things that are out there. There's a lot of tools. We've done a lot of training. There's a lot of different things out there that you can do. And some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, some of the stuff we're going to discuss today is going to be like a one-off that you just need to go and get set up, and then you're kind of done with it, right? Obviously, when it comes to CRM and stuff like that, you need to continue to follow up and things like that. But I think we have some very tactical things that you should be focusing on and working on a technology standpoint, and the tools that we have to allow you to stay top of mind for everyone and show up better is really what it's going to come down to. And if you take some time to do this, what I'm going to do is I want to share one thing before we get into this, because this isn't all about just Moxi Works. And I'm not showing you how to do anything today. I'm just going to walk through with Craig
the features and benefits of the tool.
Yep. I'm going to share this presentation with you, so you'll have the links. I also have an email that's going out at 9:45 that has all the links and everything in the presentation built into it, so you can start slowly doing some of these things to prepare for 2020, the rest of Q4, and then 2025. But what I want to share first is,
well, let's mention this too, because you guys are paying for this whether you like it or not, right? It's no additional charge to you, but it's provided by Century 21 at no additional cost. But we are paying for it at every closing that we have.
Yep.
So it kind of makes no sense to pay for something and not take advantage of it.
Exactly.
Right. If you want to write a check every month, we'll take it. So you feel guilty and want to use it, but you can handle that yourself.
So let me get into kind of everything that we're kind of discussing today. Let's see. All right. So obviously we already talked about this, creating a to-do list and get ready for.
Go back to your last slide, because we forgot. We have a 1 o'clock today Q&A session.
Yeah, there's two things going on today. There's two things going on. You have the strategies for overcoming a commission gap. Chris just sent out an email about a reminder for RSVP. It's going to be in person in Apollo Beach from 11 to 12, along with on this link that you're in now for the training. It's going to be available for you. And it's a fantastic presentation that's going to give you some other ways to kind of handle if there is a commission gap from your written agreement to what possibly is being offered by the seller. for you. So I highly recommend to be in there because a lot of the things they're going to talk about are things that aren't going to be out of pocket for anybody. Well, it could be out of pocket for some, but the way that they're going to be able to give you some of those strategies, it just kind of helps to make sure that you get paid what you're worth and what your agreement says. And then at 1 p.m. today, it's our weekly office hours from 1 to 1:30. And this is just going to be an opportunity for you to log in to the training room meeting. And that's on the calendar. So go to your calendar. It's on there. You're going to log in, turn your camera on, and it's an opportunity to ask any question about real estate, anything that's going on with your business, coaching, if it's technology, how to do stuff. We have 30 minutes where you can come in and you can just ask questions and get the answers from leadership. And on top of that, I think what we're going to start seeing from these office hours is the more that you log into it, you start seeing what other agents are doing, how they're handling things, how they're overcoming things, how they're growing their business. And then it just takes 1 minute to be on there to get something that's just like, wow, I should totally do that and incorporate it in your business and start rocking and rolling. So I highly recommend between 1 and 1:30 today to jump in on that. So 11 to 12.
And Jimmy, you and I have a showcase call at 1. I'm going to call Adam and see if he'll move that up for us to maybe 12:30 if you're available.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Won't take long.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
Okay.
So that's today. So don't forget, be there, be square. All right. So what we're going to literally do is we're just going to go down a list of each one of these things. This is a pretty decent sized list. We've done trainings on them in the past. If it's a tactical Thursday, if it was a Wednesday, if it was a Tuesday, it doesn't matter. I've also been sending out a lot of this stuff here. So everything that we're going to talk about, there's already been training. And then we're going to finish up where you can find all of this training too. And I'll kind of show you where you can find some of that stuff. So we're going to start. So the first thing, Craig, real satisfied QSS survey testimonials.
Okay, let's talk about the importance of that. I'm making an effort every Tuesday sales meeting. I'm reading you guys QSSs and they're impressive, right? And if we put on a real person hat, when you go to Amazon and buy something, be honest, you scroll down and read the reviews, right? And
I won't buy anything without looking at a review.
Nope. And when you meet a customer who's a stranger and you give them your name, do you think they might Google you? Yep. And it's been driving us crazy because we've been researching, Jimmy, you can comment on this. A lot of you don't have bios, period, and don't have photographs. That's just not acceptable, right? But anyway, I deviate from real satisfied. Every time you have a closing, we close out and dash and the survey goes to your customer. And you need to ask for that, right? Then they send it in. But Jimmy's done a class where you can actually add a page to your website to show off not all of them, but the real satisfied surveys you want to see.
Yep.
And it's really not hard to do.
Yep. So again, you're going to have links in this presentation that it will take you to the 2 or 3 minute video that will walk you through how to do these things. But the first takeaway today is make sure you get your testimonials on your website and add them to your seller and buyer presentations. We already are showing up better using Moxi Present, but let's get those in there. And then I'll talk a little bit more about Moxi Present in a little bit. But again, let's show some more value, and not just the value of what Century 21 and Beggins offers on these presentations, but those are testimonials for you to really call out what you do for your clients. And reviews are so important. So why not take advantage of them in your presentations and on your website? So as people do search for you and they find you, they can start looking at some of these presentation or some of these testimonials to see why they want to hire you.
And now you can actually share your real satisfied reviews with your social media and your Google My Business page, right? All from so the customer doesn't have to take 27 reviews.
Yep, there's some things in place for that to get out there. So
I don't think it feeds Zillow, Kristen.
No, so Zillow, realtor.com, it automatically goes through to realtor.com. Facebook, you can actually do that. Real Satisfied, it doesn't go directly to Zillow, but there's an option where they can actually go in and copy and paste it and go into Zillow. Downfall with Zillow is they have to have an account with Zillow to put a review in. So I've been hearing that a lot they want to get their Real Satisfied on there and they don't want to sign up with Zillow to be able to do that. So just kind of keep that in mind. For Google, can you add old reviews? No. So Google is a little bit different, Martin, because Google, they have to go in there and do it. You can't add your own reviews. So the only thing you can do is you can request a review into your Google and have them copy and paste their Real Satisfied if they want. But you can't physically go in and add any of that stuff. It has to be done by that person that has an account with Google when they log in and do that kind of stuff. And right
And
now,
that's
one of
all
the
in the video
features,
training.
yeah, and one of the nice features with Real Satisfied is once you have sent that into Facebook and stuff, it gives you an option to send an email to them that actually all they have to do is they're going to click on a link and copy and paste that in there, and they're good to go. All right, so that's Real
How about
Satisfied.
let's get a show of hands. How many people think that's a good idea and didn't know about it? How many people didn't know about it? Number one, show of hands. Don't be shy. Okay, good, Diane. I thank you for sharing, Denise. Yeah. Now, same thing. Now that you know about it, is it something you like to add to your to-do list for quarter 4? Jimmy, how much time do you think it would take to set aside to get this done?
Well, not for me, but I'd say 5 minutes, or maybe 10 if you watch the video and you're doing it side by side. The video is only like 2 minutes long.
So this isn't like a 2 or 3 hour commitment. It can be done in an afternoon.
Nope, not at
Okay.
all.
No
All right, cool.
excuses, guys. Would that make your business a little bit nicer if your listing presentation had testimonials and your website had testimonials on it? 100%. No reason not to.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing.
All right, cool. Next up, now we're going to get into a new option. Now we're going to talk about, make sure that's the right one. Yep. Now we're going to talk about Moxi website. Okay. So we already know the last one was just specifically around Real Satisfied. And these 3 things that we have on here, again, a lot of this is just prep. You do it once and it's done, but we want to make sure that you're set up for success and can kind of provide value for your clients, along with saving you some time with one of these that are in here. So one of the things that we've done on our websites is we have made custom web pages for our broker page that we have shared to every single one of you on this call and in this brokerage, which means you can have a custom website without having to pay someone to make all of these pages. Now, some specific things that we're going to call out is either adding broker pages or specifically the projects pages. So like we have the Beachmaker, which is an off-market property, which has over $4.5 million worth of commission just sitting there that we have the capability of selling only for about another 30 days or so. I mean, I know Jeff says about 30, 45 days, maybe a couple months, but once it goes on the MLS, you're going to lose that kind of off-market capability of selling. Why not add the page that talks about the Beachmaker with all the new pictures that have come out, all the new renderings? It's all updated and it's branded to you as the agent. Okay. So I literally had
that is maybe a 3-minute exercise.
and these are literally not even, it's like 4 clicks and it's on your website. Okay.
Because we built it for you.
Yes, it's all done. It's ready to go and it's branded to you. And just so you know, like 2 weeks ago, I was on the Beachmaker call and I had a lead that came through from my website for the Beachmaker. Random. They found me, they found my website, they saw the project and they clicked and they wanted to know more information. So we've been going back and forth for the past couple weeks.
Oh, and Jeff's got that presentation at 6 o'clock too. You can add that for today's to-do list.
Yes. Next up, open house sign-in page. You don't have to add this and you don't have to do any of this. We've already said that. But if you're doing an open house this weekend, regardless if you're the listing agent or you're helping somebody out, there's an open house sign-in page that you can add to your website to have open when you have clients that are coming in. And when they register, it goes directly to your CRM.
Wow.
So you can easily follow up. So this is really just for saving time and kind of looking pretty cool when you go into an open house.
So
and
here's your excuse to buy a Wi-Fi enabled tablet.
Yeah. So just a great opportunity there to have that available for you if you want. And then what I recommend to do is just take it down after you're done with the open house and then put it back on your website. Again, it's just literally clicking one button that says show. That's it. One button, and it's on your website. So you can sign people in and keep them in your CRM and save yourself some time of having to go back to the office and putting everything in. Okay. So take some time, make sure your website is set up and ready to go. Next up, Moxi Present. Okay. We know that Moxi Present right now allows you to show up better. It's a fantastic tool that you have available for you. There's a new buyer presentation. There's a video. I literally just shot it today just to make sure everybody knows that which one we're actually using. So if you don't know how to use a buyer presentation, you need to be using this for every single buyer. It helps to show value and show what we're going to be able to do to help them through, their process of purchasing a home. But on top of that, there's two other things that I want you to look at. And both of these are going to save some time. One, show up even better by adding video to a presentation. Okay.
Video of you.
Video. A video of you saying, hey, how are you doing, Craig? This is Jimmy. I just wanted to get a face with the name. I can't wait till we have however you decide you want to do it. You can make it evergreen, which is one video just saying, hey, walk them through kind of what they're getting ready to see. And then finally, save it as a template. Make your presentation up the way that you want. Use the pages that you want. Take out what you don't want. Add whatever you want to, but save it as a template, because if you do that, you're going to save so much time down the line, because you can always go back to that template when you're ready to send another one out. And you don't have to worry about doing anything, but just get it in there and go. And by the way, the buyer presentation is literally like 5 clicks and it's gone and it's done and it's out if you don't want to do anything.
Right.
Okay.
So Veronica, you'll see in the training, all you have to do is add a page, choose the page format, and then insert your video.
Yeah, this is not saying that there's a video already in there. We are adding a kind of voiceover talking about why they would want to hire us. This is specifically, Veronica, for you to add a video and say, hey,
I'm
Veronica, what's up, everybody? You want to work with me. By the way, take a look at this presentation. It's going to set the tone for purchasing a home and answer a lot of questions that you're going to have. Even has the new buyer broker agreement in there to really, again, set that tone. So when it's time for them to sign it, they've already seen it. All right. So that's Moxi Present.
Pretty simple. All right. So a buyer presentation, it's already there. So you got to click a button, say, show it, and it's on your page, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, technically. So if you don't want to do any of this other stuff, it's already done. It's 5 clicks. It probably takes 30 seconds, might be 40 because it takes a second for it to load up. That should be to every single buyer.
Yep. And really, I mean, I'm gonna comment on that because I do ask questions when I talk to you guys, and you're saying I'm not having a problem getting my listing agreement signed, my buyer agreement signed.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic. And then my follow-up question is typically, did you send the Moxi buyer presentation? And they go, oh, no, I didn't. Right. This has got to become part of your routine if you want to be seen as a professional. And if you want to earn that extra commission, you got to demonstrate the value.
I mean, and Chris, Chris talks about it. He's in the room, so I don't really know what he talks about.
I saw his little shadow back there for a little bit.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about. No, Chris has been talking a lot about, how we're working with buyers is very similar to how we work with sellers, how we've been working with sellers, right? It's like the same idea. You have to show value, you got to show a presentation, all of those kind of things that are in there. So you need to you're already comfortable doing it for your sellers. You already are. You just have to get comfortable and imagine how you would show up with a brand new lead that comes through an open house and you send them our new buyer presentation. Nobody is doing that. And I can text it to them. Nobody is doing that right now. And if you just add the video and stuff like that, it just adds it just makes it that much better. And I'm going to show you some numbers too, once I get done with the Moxi stuff. Because I want you're going to be wowed when I show you some numbers of what people really are doing with this. All right, so that's Moxi Present, okay? Technically, once you save it as a template and you add the video, you're pretty much done. You saved your template and you're ready to go.
Rachel says, I love it. I email myself a generic one for the listing preview, the buyer presentation, and the recruiting. I save them and I copy and paste the link in a text when I meet the new people. Thank you for making us look like a rock star, Jimmy. Right?
Just, again, it's just these little things that allow you to show up better. And show some of the value. Okay, next up, Moxi Impress. This is our marketing tool. So marketing made easily. Okay. If you're not using
this one drives me crazy because the other day I got a really nice marketing email from an agent, one of ours, promoting his new listing.
Yeah.
And it was really good looking. I shared it with you, Jimmy.
Yes.
And I got to the bottom and it says courtesy of Constant Contact. So here's an agent who's paying additional money and spending a whole bunch of time to create marketing materials.
Yep.
And then spending money to send them out through an email carrier when it's already done and ready for you right now.
Yep.
With a click of a button. So if you don't know what this stuff is, these 3 classes,
yes,
all these are links at the bottom, right?
Yeah, these are all links at the bottom. And like I said, I'm sending an email that has all these broken down for you. And this, if you're a listing agent, all this stuff is automatically made for you already. Like you don't have to touch a thing. But if you have an agent and this is where I'm going to challenge all those agents that have all these open houses and stuff like that, agents that are working on your open house, what are they bringing with them? If they're knocking on doors, what are they bringing? With 5 clicks, I can promote your open house and I can make my own stuff. And I know that I'm going to show up on brand and consistent because the colors are right, the logos are right, everything is right with 5 clicks and it's done.
Yep.
Talk about saving time with having to come up with marketing and stuff when you're doing an open house. Again, it's done. And like, well, we'll say 5 clicks. Maybe it takes 10 minutes altogether to do if you want to adjust some stuff.
You know,
But here's all your videos. Here's all your videos.
Kate Rossi last week challenging us to make 5 contacts a day for sub owners and expired listings, and then challenge us to talk to 10 of our SOI, right? But here's what happens in real life. A lot of us hide behind the administrative work as an excuse for not doing the person-to-person work. Well, I can't go do the open house door knocking because I haven't done a flyer made. So you'll putz around on the computer for 3 hours making the perfect flyer when it's already made for you. It's an excuse to keep you from getting out there and talking to people. So part of the idea is to replace the excuses. And that's what Moxi does. Moxi Impress does for you.
That looks fantastic. So I'm going to answer this question for Jennifer. She said, if I go onto Facebook and make a post, and I tag like at everyone, does it really send it to, it doesn't send it to everybody. It just tags all of your friends. So I will tell you, I hate it when that happens. I'm like, oh, someone tagged me in this. I'm like, oh, okay. It's not really me. It's just them wanting to watch it. But yes, that will actually go to all of your friends. All right, next up, we are going to hit Moxi Engage. Okay. So Moxi Engage, this is your CRM. These are the things that I recommend that you should be doing. There's videos on how to do all this stuff. And again, when it comes down to a CRM, a lot of these things are automated. Some you have to do every single month. But the idea is to stay top of mind in front of the people that already know you, like you, and trust you, that are in your database. And when it's time for them to do something that's real estate related, we need them to think of you. So these are just some things that you can do to make sure that you stay top of mind. One is doing a holiday campaign. Have everybody on a holiday campaign. And by the way, it says nothing about real estate in these holiday campaigns. It just says Happy Thanksgiving. And guess what? There's a big ass C21 on it and your face. And they correlate that with real estate because we are the #1 recognized name in real estate. So you should have everybody on a holiday campaign. Okay.
Yep. Hey, let's talk for a second about, because it's almost annoying because I get so many email text follow-ups now. You know, I get a text that my Orkin guy is going to be here on Friday at 10. And then I get a text, my Orkin guy is in my driveway. And then I get a text that, you know, they're going to another house, whatever. I got a text yesterday from my dry cleaners telling me that they're out of sale on comforters, right? I'm getting a text, my Jeep's in the shop right now. I'm getting a text from the Christian Brothers Automotive that, you know, all my parts have arrived. I'll be working on my car today. I got a text this morning saying my car's ready.
Well, right? See, that's good. So you want that stuff, but when it's time for you to get a comforter, if they keep
and I don't
like
unsubscribe because shit, I might want to take.
You never know. You never know. And that's the thing with real estate. Everybody's in a different time space for when it is time to do something real estate related. So don't feel that you're just overwhelmed. If they don't want anything, they're going to unsubscribe, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just move on. Right? It's okay. But stay top of mind. Some other ways to stay top of mind are setting up your past buyers on neighborhood news. Any potential listings, put them on neighborhood news, a monthly newsletter that has one of the highest open rates. It's not convoluted by any type of news or anything like that. It's just data about what's happening in their area. That's something that automatically goes out once you set it up. Just a thought. I want to save a little time. You got faves and saves too. There's a video on that if you want to put a buyer on a search on there. Monthly wizard article. If you don't know, if you want to send out something real estate related every single month, we make one for you.
But let's go back to faves and saves for a second.
Okay.
Because that's something else that I get a lot of. Because I go to Zillow often. I go to realtor.com often. I look at stuff just because I want to see what they're doing. And it knows what I'm looking at.
So let me ask you this, Craig. Okay. When you get that email from Zillow and you click on it, what is on Zillow? Houses, right? And then their stuff they're doing with loans and stuff like that, but it's houses. It's a house search. Craig, what is on your website besides searching?
Houses, projects,
houses, projects, why sell with me, why buy with me,
my reviews.
my reviews, neighborhood news sign up. I work with divorcees, or I'm like, or you know what? Here's some services that I offer. Divorces. I'm getting married. I'm having a kid. I'm moving. There's so much more content available on our websites that they're not, if they're looking, they may be interested to start clicking on some of that other stuff. Just a thought. Why not put them on faves and saves? Monthly newsletter. Again, we make that for you. It's literally like 4 or 5 clicks and boom. All right. So I'm going to answer this question. Kristen said faves and saves versus MLS. Which one? No. So they do sync up. Your website is fed from MLS. It's IDX fed. So when something goes live, it's going to be in there. This is the benefit of having it on your website. One, you can track it. It keeps everything kind of in that Bible of the client. So it keeps them on your website. Same thing with MLS. If they go to MLS, all it does is have searches on it. The difference, though, is there's more fields in MLS than there are in faves and saves. So you have to make a decision what's right. Typically, what I'll do is I'll start somebody out on faves and saves because it's a little more generic. And then once we kind of narrow it down a little bit, boom. I'm going to answer this question. How do you update the holiday campaigns? You don't update the holiday campaigns. They automatically get updated, Donna. They automatically get updated from Century 21. So you don't have anything to worry about when it's getting ready to end. They add more to it. So right now you can see that it goes through most of 2025. I think it's about halfway through, but I will tell you, once you get a few months into 2025, they add more content on top of it. Okay. Well, you do MLS, search however you want. You can do whatever you want. It's just another option that you have that keeps everything in there. So if yours did not update, then you need to cancel that. Well, if it hasn't updated, then it's probably not a holiday. Well, it might have been an old one that they're not updating, or just it's not going out anymore. Just cancel it and set up a new one. Do not change any of the campaigns that are going out from Century 21 like that. Any monthly campaign from the corporate office or like the holiday. If you decide that you don't want to send out Happy Father's Day and you delete it from it, it will not sync back up. So just start a new one and you'll be fine. And then finally on this one, last thing I want to talk about is promoting your listings through custom eBlasts. This is a video that will walk you through how you can send out open houses, just listed, just sold, a way to get in front of them. Again, it's just staying top of mind.
All right, would you recommend, I know I answered my question. If I'm holding an open house, is there anything wrong with me e-blasting on my database and say, hey, I'm holding an open house?
No.
What are they going to think of? Oh, Craig's busy. Craig's got listings.
Yep.
Craig's working. Those are good signs.
Rachel, most people have searches on multiple sites. Why not both? I mean, it's up to you. It's however you want to do it. However you decide you want to do it. Okay, let's keep moving. Next up, the Zillow Showcase. Again, here's a video on how to use Zillow Showcase. Here is how this is actually from the training site here. I'll walk you through all the training, all the marketing, all that kind of stuff. But really for this, we know that you're going to show up better online. You have higher views, get more listings. There is a proven fact for a lot of these agents outside of ours anyways, using this as a tool to get a listing, not just to throw it in there because it's been sitting for 3 months, actually using this as a tool to get a listing and even get a higher commission. Okay.
Yep.
So you're going to get more value. You're going to get more exposure, and it's all branded to you. So possibly getting even leads. Well, a recommendation here is to share the Zillow Showcase link out and show the difference between the two. Now, in our seller presentation, there's already a breakdown of what the Zillow Showcase is. Why not show them, share that link, and even share it out on social media so people can actually see it? Because it's so much more, and it's, again, geared to you as the agent with your name all over the place.
Yep.
So you have a better opportunity of possibly getting some more leads and them reaching out directly to you.
But that means demonstrating the difference, right? You can't say, we have this, that nobody knows what it is. Less than 3% of the listings in most markets right now are using Zillow Showcase.
Yep.
So it is not mainstream, but you see the emails I'm sending you weekly about the Showcase of the week, and you're seeing that our listings are getting tons more views and tons more shares.
Use it as a tool. I'm telling you, use it as a tool to get it. Don't wait. Don't wait 60 days to put it on it. Put it on it right away.
Yep.
No, Henry, you cannot reverse prospect based on saves on Zillow. You don't get any of that information.
No, but one thing Showcase does do, because I'm on Zillow, right? and they send me listings that I might be interested in. And it's usually 4 or 5 that are relevant or not relevant. They're just something I search for. So Zillow sends that. Under Showcase, they will send a single property email to consumers who have registered on their site that are interested in that price range and that zip code.
Yep.
So you get an individual email with your Showcase listing just to people that are interested in that zip code and that price range.
And the
That's
other
pretty
thing,
damn cool.
and the other thing too, is if you go and click on that property and kind of view it, like I looked at one of Mike Rickenbach's from like a month ago. I've been getting an email every single week about that property, asking me if I want to see it, if I want to reach out to the agent. Like every week, I'm getting an email from Zillow about that property. And then
Wow.
honestly, the only way that they can really throw you in there, Henry, is if they click on you and they want to, if they click on you and they want more information and they become kind of like a lead through that, they still have the option of choosing you as their Zillow agent too. I mean, that has happened for me from the Zillow showcase where they've come in and also chosen that so I can see everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, next up, I want to talk quickly about Boost by Lone Wolf. This is not free. You do have to pay anything, but as low as $39. I did a training on this. It's just a way to run an ad and get more exposure. I've gotten a few leads from it. Actually decent leads that have come through by running this. I run this on every new listing. If I do a significant price decrease, stuff like that, or even an open house, you can do it. But I typically run an ad for $40 to get 6,000 people to look at it. And usually about a week. There's a lot more pricing that you can do, different prices, adding video and all that kind of stuff. But again, this is just another tool that we have available. Tied in with Century 21, you get and watch the video and it'll show you how you can set it up if you decide you want to do something like that. You don't have to. And then you have the Golden Ruler Report also. So for anybody that has a listing, again, this is another partner. This does not cost anything, but this is a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly automated report to your seller if you set it up. Or you can go in whenever you want, print it up, send it to them, however you decide to do it. But it is a great tool to see how your property is actually online and how it's kind of showing up in the exposure, where everybody's looking at it, where they're seeing it. I tie this in to my ads that I run. So I will look to see where everybody is looking at the property, where what city has the most views. And then when I go run an ad, that's one of these zip codes that I will put in to kind of get in front of them even more. So
And
just a
what
way
you
that you
also
can use the
told me
tools
is
together.
you're finding that your website is a pretty big lead source for your listings.
The more that you use your website and people are getting onto it, I am number 4. I'm usually 3, 4, or 5, depending on what it is, on the Golden Ruler Report. My website shows up. So talk about the value that shows, like for me anyways, they see that pull up. They know that I am pushing that out and I'm using the tools that I have and it's showing up on my website, which is pretty cool.
Zillow's usually number 1,
Yep.
Realtor.com's number 2, Century1.com's number 3, and then you're number 4. That's pretty damn good exposure.
All right. And then finally, before I show you some stats, where can I find all this information and what else is available? So we have the Next Level U, which is our training site. Okay. Which again, you're going to have links for all these. Some other tools you have available to save you some time. One, AI generated listing descriptions, bios. It's all there. Here's the link that actually takes you directly to it. That's going to be in that email for you. Okay. This is where you're going to get all your logos, marketing material, things like that will all be available on there for you. So if you want to save a little time and don't know where to go there. Everything's there. There's also a role play feature. A lot of agents ask,
That's
hey,
cool.
I want to practice some scripts. Well, there's a feature that you can turn on your microphone on your computer. You have to follow the instructions. If you do not follow the instructions, it won't work properly. And you can have a conversation with AI going over objections on why somebody wants to sign a buyer broker agreement.
If you haven't seen it, you got to do it. It actually talks
It's
back to you.
insane. Yep.
It really is.
And then you also have, if you need any training material, if you want to watch replays, it's all on the
Next Level U.
Next Level U, which is all which is what I have right here. Again, you're linked out to all of this stuff. You want to learn more about the Moxi stuff? I can go directly. I'm going to go back to my homepage here.
Oops, you do have to sign up for the website. By the way, you got to log in.
Yes. You do have to log in. And you have to use your C21BE or BE3 Google account. It even has a search feature. Like, let's say, for instance, I want to learn about Zillow Showcase and I don't want to dig through this whole website. All I have to do is ask Mr. Beggins, and it tells you exactly what it is. And then when I click on it, guess what? Boom, it takes me to the what? This is the Zillow Showcase website. Talks about how it works if you want to order it, how to order it, how to pitch it, and even a section that will, when we get down here a little bit further, that has all the resources from Zillow if you want some of the marketing material, all here in the website. One place to go.
Yeah, it's
So
not
this is
taking you
where
to
you're going to
Zillow's
find,
website. It's taking you to our page on our website.
yes. Well, this one actually goes to specifically the Zillow side, that has some of their marketing material with all of our logos and stuff on it from them.
Okay.
So if you want to use some of that stuff, you totally can. So this is just a great website. And again, I will send all this stuff out. And the last thing I want to finish with, because I know we're a few minutes over, is I didn't talk about more business, but I want to share with you for agents that use the platform Moxi Works versus those that do not.
This is impressive.
So the agents that use Moxi Present versus those that do not earn on average $23,000 more. Give me a raise of hands if anybody wants to make $23,000 more. That would be kind of cool. One person, 2, 3, 4, 5. There better be like 107 people that pop on like that. Okay. How about this? So the agents that use Moxi Engage, the way that it's supposed to be used, okay, and this is using all the pieces like following up and all that stuff, $30,000 more. And either keep your hand up or add it on there. So between the two, it's $53,000 more for those that implement these two pieces into their business. And then if you use Moxi Impress, because it's consistent, it's branded, 1.7 times more productive, and earn $40,000 more. So we're almost at 100 grand. I'm not saying to go insane with all these platforms, but there's a proven fact that if I wanted to implement all of these tools in here the way that they're supposed to be used, I have the potential of making almost 100 grand more.
And that's because you're going to impress more buyers that are going to stick with you. And you're going to impress more sellers that are going to list with you. Right. So to make an extra 23,000 is really only 3 or 4 transactions a year.
Correct.
Right. So this is not like overwhelming. Oh my God, I could never do that. Yeah, you could. Because you go on listing presentations and don't win sometimes.
Yes.
Because you didn't make as good a presentation as somebody else who showed up looking better. Sometimes you work with a buyer and you get ghosted and they end up buying something without you. And so that's money you didn't earn. But if you show up better, which is the whole purpose we're trying to get across here, right? It's there. So it's frustrating to us because, and honestly, I'll pat ourselves on the back. You know, between Jimmy and Angelique and Sammy, they've really built our Moxi out to be more user friendly and more action packed than other Century 21s.
Yeah, you don't get all this stuff though.
Talk to another Century 20 agent from a different company when you go to a convention or something and say, "How do you guys use Moxi?" A lot of agents say, "What? What's Moxi?" Because they don't talk about it. They don't have meetings. They don't have a Jimmy that does the training and sends out recordings and how to do this, and an Angelique and a Sam who build out the pages and make them look professional and nice, and or the agents have to do it all on their own. Here you go, kid. Here's a book. Figure out Moxi and go build some nice looking stuff. Right? It's a special thing.
Zillow Showcase and Moxi presentations have 1B listings.
No doubt about it.
Even those from other C21s.
Yep.
Okay, we like it.
Duh.
So anyway, so what we'll do is we'll leave you. I know we're about 8 minutes over. You will be getting an email here shortly from me that has all of the links, even for that presentation. So you can go and start taking some time to make sure you're set up and ready to go. Some of those things, once you set it up once, you won't have to do it again. But other times, when it comes down to, monthly newsletters and, some of those other things, you're probably going to need to do it a little bit more. But I just want to make sure that, you don't have to do any of it. But I highly recommend to at least get in there to start showing up better, showing up more consistently and staying more top of mind. And a lot of these are done so you can do them pretty quick. So it really will allow you to do things to really get into what you should be doing, which is talking to people, not trying to figure out how to make videos, make flyers. How do I build a website? How do I do all these things? Let's set some of that stuff up, get comfortable with it so you can have time to do what matters the most right now, which is talking to people.
Yeah.
But as you're talking to
So,
them, you need to show up well too and have the things in place so you show up better when you do start talking to them. You need to make sure you understand how to do it and that you're set up to show up as they start searching for you and looking for you now.
so best practice, right? Most of this stuff literally is minutes of effort, not hours, not studying, not creating. It's literally just minutes of effort. So best practice would be the time block, say 30 minutes, 1 day a week. If you did that 1 day a week for this fourth quarter, you would have all this stuff implemented and you'd be rocking and rolling for 2025. Actually be rocking and rolling in fourth quarter of 2024 because
Right.
there's not that many things. And most of these videos Jimmy shot, what are they? Less than 5 minutes?
Yeah, most of them are less. There might be one or two that's a little bit around 5, but most it's like 2 to 3 minutes long. Watch
So,
it, pause it, do it, go back and forth. And then as always, if you get stuck, reach out.
yep. I think we should pimp Jimmy out for $75 an hour, the 2 hour minimum. And he'll just help you do
I mean, we got that too. It'd be
it.
worth it. You know it's done right. I'm just kidding.
Tracy said, my previous Century 21 office never mentioned Moxi or trained on it. Moxi's been out now for how long?
Almost 5 years, I think.
Is it really
Been
that
that
long?
long. Yeah, it's been
Wow.
pretty.
And
Maybe
we were
I
one
mean
of the
I
first to
feel
get
like
it.
it. Maybe not that long. Maybe a few years, 3
I
years,
think probably 3 years, maybe.
maybe. I don't know.
But Jimmy actually travels the country teaching to other Century 21s too, on behalf of Century 21. So we've got a great resource in Mr. McNally here. And that's
So
live here.
yes, if you got questions, let me know. And then last note, we still got almost 100 people on here, which is fantastic. Don't
Yeah.
forget today at 11 o'clock, be in the Apollo Beach training room or be on
Online.
this link here so you can learn more
10
about
ways.
that compensation gap and strategies that you can overcome that. And then at 1 o'clock, look at your calendar, click on
Open
the
mic.
link, log in, and if you have any questions
And
about
that is the
anything real
different, that's
estate
the
related,
personal training room. So there's a training room,
personal
which is a
training room.
webinar, which we're on now, where we can't see you, but you can see us. The personal training room is we can all see each other.
Yep.
So we can actually interact and see questions back and forth. And as always, it's just polite to turn your camera on when you're in an active meeting.
Yes.
So cool. Jimmy, this is exactly what I wanted to come across.
Perfect.
Right?
Awesome.
Features and benefits, not how to. The how-tos are going to be really easy. The videos are done and the links are there for you. So all you got to do is time block half-hour a week, maybe, or maybe you more aggressively want to do more than that. Right?
Yeah.
But at least watch them. See what you think.
Yeah. Take some time. Get set up. Get ready to rock and roll.
Jimmy
And get out there and talk
McNally
to
is the
people.
best.
Talk
Yep,
to them.
that's it.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all. Happy Thursday. See you at 11, hopefully.
Yep. 11 and 1.
That's
If you
right.
have questions. All right. Good job. Thank you, Jimmy.